You are watching and listening to Mark from marksefton.com. Great to have your company today. Just a few minutes. I'm going to be talking about mind. 5 ways to really improve your mind. It is a muscle. It needs to be exercised. It needs to be worked out. And there's too many of us suffering from mindset obesity. We're feeding it low-calorie information, poor content, and we're listening to the wrong people who are just having a negative effect on our environment, on the way we think. And the thought process that goes on in your mind really does need to be protected. It is a fragile instrument which needs to be nurtured and fed. And I want to share with you 5 real key nuggets, rockets, that will really help focus you and get the best out of what you need to in life, and quieten out and shut out those voices and those things which you hear and you watch, which pollute and distort your view, which enables you then, every time you think of something, because you've got a mindset that is full of noise and rubbish negativity, you're making poor choices, and it's harming your future, and it's harming your mind. So I want to share with you 5 things, 5 wars, 5 weapons of war that will really help you in your fight against all this noise in this world. And my first point really is to reflect. The power of reflection for me is the biggest tool to personal growth. I daily and weekly take time out to think and ponder and go over everything that I've been involved in, both professionally and personally, the challenges, the successes. I look at every meeting, I look at every opportunity that I've covered. I'll even look back on this video of what I could have done better, what I did well, and really have an area and create an environment where your life is one of reflection. Allow your mind to process. Be kind to your mind. The second point is to observe urges. Now, often we get urges, to eat the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. We might have an urge as a man to look at a woman inappropriately. We might have an urge, to reach for that chocolate bar, and we're really trying hard to keep an eye on our weight. But what I want you to do is I want you to start observing your urges rather than responding to them. So rather than when temptation comes, you actually jump on it. Let the urge come and let it go. I bet some of you have never let the urge go. But sometimes the urge does become so great that you just take advantage of it. But I want you to just watch the urges. It will really help your mind to let it come and then let it just quietly and calmly just fade away. Third point is to enjoy being out of your comfort zone. We so often think that being out of our comfort zone is the enemy, and I tell you it isn't. Being in your comfort zone is the enemy. Being out of it isn't. We don't grow when we're comfortable. We become fat, we become lazy, we become assuming, we think everything's going to be handed on our plate. And it's something that we have to work against, because our whole world is built on movies on demand, fast food. We've got internet banking. You don't even have to go to the high street bank anymore. You can just get on your computer and put in your details. Everything's become so here you go. And sometimes we forget the process of what it is to be diligent and hard working. We take corners and we take things for granted. So make sure you get out your comfort zone, expose yourself to things that you've never done before. And don't be afraid when situations and circumstances come your way. See it as a great opportunity to grow and find out more about yourself. Self-discovery is a wonderful thing, and you may even surprise yourself. Next point is to really be curious. I think, we hear words like curiosity killed the cat, and so it's kind of stifled our ability to think and to question. And so often we go with the flow, don't we? And we take everything as gospel. We believe everything we read. And I'm challenging you now to be curious about what you believe and who you're about and what you are. And start asking questions again. Start, looking at things, dismantling things and rebuilding them. Don't just have a life which is just reactive. Have a life which is curious. My last point is really to be grateful. I think gratitude, creates an abundant mindset. And when we're grateful, we're being kind to our minds. We're saying, actually, who we are and what we're about. Yes, we're on a journey. Yes, we make mistakes, but fundamentally we're making progress. The fact that you're listening to this video says to me actually you care about your mind, you're curious, you want to improve, you want to see what's out there, and really you've got to be kind to your mind, because it is, for me, your strongest weapon against this world and this life that we have, which is difficult. I think when we're not prepared for knowing that life will be tough, when hard times come, we just end up getting knocked off our feet and we end up in a rut because we're not aware, and we've got to take the rough with the smooth. You've got to build and fortify your mind. It is the weapon that's going to make the difference between good and great and falling flat on your face and actually standing up on your own 2 feet and going again. And they're my 5 points. I hope you really enjoyed them. I'd love to get some feedback. You can leave a comment at the bottom of this video. You can connect with me on Twitter, which is @SephtonMark. Thank you for listening.